Oh, is my mic
Mm-hmm.
on?
Yeah, it is.
If
Yeah,
if you can hear
testing,
me, raise your
testing.
hand. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wednesday live stream.
Hope everybody out there is doing well.
Keep on doing your thing because they can't hear me.
Oh, oh, all right.
Oh,
Well, hey, everybody. I'm Rob,
I'm Michael.
and that's Chris on mute for some reason. I don't know what's going on. But welcome to the Wednesday live stream for today, March the 25th, 2020. Yeah, we're talking about all kinds of things today. We got a few things we want to touch base on with the tournament stuff. R.I.P. Ben. We'll find out today. Maybe, maybe not.
There
Depends
we
on what
go.
you're talking about. I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you know something we don't know, Steven?
Right?
there we go. Everyone can hear me now. I am sorry about that, everyone. Sorry, sorry, sorry. All right.
Yay.
Yay, welcome back.
There's a few more things I have to do, so Robert, continue to take it. Continue to take it. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Okay. They said they could hear you,
Oh,
by the way.
oh.
I don't know if
Nice.
you were
May-
freaking out for nothing.
Maybe they hear me worse now.
Loud
They,
and clear.
I think they wish they couldn't hear you,
That might be the
is the
case.
thing. So yeah, first off, how's everybody doing in this quarantine state? You keeping your distance?
As much as possible.
Trying to.
I've been
Nice.
listed as essential, so I'm still working as best I can with as limited contact with everybody else as possible.
Nice. I've been working from home. I know Chris always works from home, so nothing. His life has remained the same. He just can't go inside to get his food.
Yeah. It has no
That's
effect
it.
on me. It resolves.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. So yeah, that's what's going on with us. I
There
guess
we go.
just doing our thing. So while Chris works on that, I guess we could just jump into our first topic because we got quite an episode for y'all today. The first thing we want to talk about is the invitational tournament and how that's going. Steven did say RIP Ben. That is not the case yet in the standings. It looks like Ben won his match over Laurier.
Nice.
So he actually took that match 2-1 over Laurier. And he's just waiting on the winner between Comics Mike and Jacques Blond. So that's where that is. Did you happen to catch that match at all, Mike?
No, I hadn't at all. With everything going on right now, I've been having really crazy hours, so trying to keep up with the videos and stuff like that, it's been really, really hard for me right now.
Understandable.
How dare you
Chris?
have a life?
Right.
No,
Did you?
I didn't catch it at all. My bad on that. After scolding Mike.
I know Laurier would have some really tough teams and stuff like that, so I'd have to imagine that their matches had to have been pretty good.
Oh, Ben, he is always a part of our team. And whenever he has time for us, and where he's always welcome, we'll bring him back in with open arms. So I know he's trying to get the community going up there in the UK, wherever he's at. So we're not gonna say you have to stick to us only. We're never gonna do that. So
We're all community.
for sure, he's our UK correspondent.
And plus, he did commentary with us on the event on Saturday. So
Oh, that
which-
amazing one shot you guys threw on Saturday.
yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that next.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a little sneak peek. So yeah, continuing with the legacy tournament, it looks like Troy actually won over Jackalope Spam to go into the final round here
Oh, wow.
of the winning bracket. So your is undefeated, which is Troy,
Dang.
spelled
Wow.
backwards.
Who would have
Nice job,
known?
York.
Yeah, he took that match 2-1. Did you catch that one at all? Anybody?
No, I didn't, but I would have loved it, but a fly on the wall in those matches.
Yeah, for sure. Watching those undefeated teams play, it's just like, man.
The level of people playing here it's going to be going towards the end is going to be top notch and amazing. Like I said, I can only imagine seeing some of these matches. Hopefully, I can
Yeah.
go back and be able to catch some.
For sure. So yeah, the winner between Ben Scott, or Ben Scott, like we don't know him, between Ben and whoever, Comics Mike or Jacques Blond, will be facing Troy in the finals. So as soon as those matches get in, we'll move on to that. And that's where the invitational stands. It looks like we have past champion Ben, and I don't know if Troy's won any of our tournaments, has he?
I
No,
don't
he's
believe
coming.
so.
He's been in the top 4 in a few.
Yeah, or he wouldn't be here.
Well, I mean, anywhere between the eighth and the 1 seed in stuff or finishers could have been in the in this. So
No, I
Okay,
was fifth, and seventh, and I was able to get that with my fifth wins. Or fifth win.
nice.
so
The
Mike,
all the repeat winners.
yeah, Mike changed your mind right there, didn't he? Didn't he?
He certainly did. He certainly did.
I am definitely a nice mid-range player.
Speaking of mid-range players, does anyone have anything else to add for the invitational? Just some beefy teams. I don't even know what Ben is running. Do y'all know what Ben is running?
He's running a team without any win cons, is the way he'll put it to you.
Well,
What do
they're just trash teams he threw together. He uses natural ability as international champion.
His natural sweat
just-
ability.
He's the actual dice master. That's just it. He's the
That's
actual
it.
Dice master.
The game is named after him. But yeah, cool. All right. So this past Saturday, we ran our very first monthly one-shot tournament. Consisted of 8 seats. They filled up pretty quick. We put the announcement out, and I think everyone was just waiting to see who was going to sign up or let other people sign up. And once we sent up the flare, basically saying, "Hey guys, we still got plenty of seats," they filled up like that. So I know a couple people didn't get in. I think Mike, you were interested in joining.
I was interested, but I wasn't sure if I could. So I'm glad they did fill up.
Yeah, we missed Steven. Steven wanted to play, but he had some other obligations he had to take care of.
He's too busy for us.
We get it. He's too big time. Just playing.
He's the right kind of
Hey, like-
time.
Yeah. So yeah, the participants in this match, I'll just say them randomly. Or actually, I'll put them up as they're listed on the sheet. We have all the teams up on crgr.rocks if anybody wants to check those out. We had Stuart, Monkey 1985, Chaz Kaz, myself, M Brewer, Raw Travel, Mr. McCat, True Mr. Six.
The truest of Mr.
Rounding
Six.
out the all 8 teams here. I won't go into detail on each one of them, but I will say that I went 2-1 in this tournament, and that's a pretty good showing for me.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been positive in a tournament, so I was super stoked.
It had to have a worldwide pandemic to come up for you to do positive in a tournament.
You know what? That's usually when I'm at my best.
You start getting that streak going, man. You just got to keep it going.
Yeah, in going 2-1, I actually came in second. So that's pretty good. And the only reason I came in second, I think, is because I lost to the person that won the tournament. And that video should be out soon.
That video will be out
Oh,
on Monday.
it's already out. His video is already out. He posted it on his channel.
Not the championship match.
No, not the championship match, but the match against me.
Oh.
Where True Mr. Six just destroyed me with his team.
Spoiler alert, you let everyone know that he won.
I'm still going to watch.
That's already out, yeah.
I'm still going to
Damn
watch.
it.
Yeah.
So are y'all interested to know what happened in my matches, since we only recorded, y'all only saw my one match, and
Yeah. I assume
know
your
if y'all
rolls
used the
were
other one.
bad and he was laughing at you and you balled into a small ball and cried.
yes. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. So in my first game, I played Stu Art, or as he's known on our Discord, Salty McSaltface. He was playing the Ring of Winter Dragon team. And although he was able to get in a big swing for 14, overall, he couldn't really get enough energy to breath weapon and swing in. And you can watch that video. We actually have that video up. I think Chris put it out on Sunday, I think.
It went live for Patreon Sunday, and then for everyone else, it went live on Monday. So
Cool.
we're about to put out the other 2 videos, the round 2 and the round 3, to Patreons probably tomorrow, and then the non-Patrons will have them Friday, and the championship one will be Monday. So
Nice. Cool. So at one point, he used a smash global against me, which I was not prepared for because, like always, I didn't pay attention to my opponent's team. So he he paid a fist to block the character die, and essentially nothing happened. I was playing a God Catcher team. I was that guy. So all I did was buy all my God Catchers and just kind of rotate them through and just try to make as many God Catchers as possible. Um, and yeah, so once he did that, I took no damage that turn. It made me realize that I needed to pivot to unblockable Yanti because that's also on my team, especially with all those
Nice.
God Catcher triggers. So once she
All
was
those
out, I
actions going.
was. What's that?
I'm sorry, you got all those actions going. Why not?
Yeah, for real. Like I should have did it. Chris pointed out in the video. I once he did that thing, it made me realize that I needed to do it. And Chris said, "Yeah, you should have bought it already." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Whatever. Don't judge me, commentator.
What do
Commentator."
you know? You weren't in this tournament.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, once she was out, I was able to trigger her attune ability and swing through with the full board and just overwhelmed him with the God Catchers and took the win. I had like 5 life remaining at that point, so that one was a really fun game. Um, Chris and like I said, Ben did the commentary for that one. It was really good, even though there was a big confusion for the most part with the life totals. Me and Stu had it. We figured it out.
Ben had it also. I didn't.
Yeah,
Ryan didn't either. So I mean,
yeah.
that's what it comes down to.
And then in game two, I actually played True Mr. Six. This is the first time ever I've played True Mr. Six. So that was really cool. Getting to talk to him and stuff. So if you get a chance, check out the video on their YouTube channel, the Ministry of Dice. So he's playing a classic collector Navi villain team, which is what Steven sounded like he was playing a villain team. I don't know if it's different, but I was concerned about his Scarlet Witch, which obviously would have shut down my team. He bought it though, and it did not roll once.
Ah,
The entire game, it never showed up.
He
that's
Scarlet
not
Witched his own Scarlet Witch, so to speak.
Pretty much.
just a
My
bunch
other,
of bolts.
yeah, that's all it was. Another concern that I had was that he had Gazer on his team to intimidate out my tokens and bye God Catchers. So my God Catchers and Cobalt Traps just wouldn't roll. It's like he had Scarlet Witch out there the whole time. Didn't matter. I did it to myself. I was my own Scarlet Witch. I had my heels on and everything. Uh, the one time I did get a God Catcher out to try to get rid of his collector to force him to block, he just gazered. He did a gazer and got rid of it, and it was gone forever, and I cried. Uh, so I basically lost. It was death by 1,000 cuts because he just gobbled me until I died. So
Okay.
there was that. That was my loss. In game three, I played M Brewer. He was doing a create bonfire team.
Hmm.
Is that what that card's called? Basically, just cycling those action dice through and just doing a bunch of burn damage to me.
Yeah.
My biggest concern with that team was static field. I did take a lot of burn damage from that action die, and he really uses globals to his advantage. Like his turn two or turn three, he was rolling all of his sidekicks.
Oh,
Bag
that's
completely
awesome.
empty. He rolled 8 dice, dude. I was like, holy crap. That was kind of intimidating because I don't think I've played him, or if I did play him, it's been a long time since I have, so I didn't know what level he was at, and I was like, whoa.
He was at
And Brewer
3,000.
has some
Yeah,
really great builds in his teams and stuff like that. In any tournament, anytime I've ever played him and stuff like that, it's always been a great, great match.
yeah, it was definitely fun. Unfortunately, he just couldn't get anything in the field or roll enough masks to keep my God Catchers from doing damage to him. So I just overwhelmed him with God Catchers and I took the win. I ended up coming in at second place only because the strength of schedule. I lost to the winner and came in second place at 2-1.
Well,
So that was my
congratulations, man.
thanks. It was fun. It was really fun. I might do the next one next month also. We'll see. I don't want to take a spot from people if we're only going to do 8 seats. If we get more feedback that more people want to play, maybe we expand it out to 2 pods or something like that.
Hmm.
We haven't really discussed it yet, but the way it's looking is we'll just do 8 again. And maybe we'll just rotate out whoever wants to play.
Well, that's a good idea.
So
Until we can get a second pod going, I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah. And we have discussed it in detail, but we're just trying to see how the tournaments go. So it's not like we're
Yeah.
just like totally not know what we're doing.
No.
We had a long
Yeah,
meeting
that's
about
true.
all this.
Right.
we did, but like it's
So,
been busy. It's been hectic. So
Yeah.
if you don't mind me asking, in game two and stuff like that, did you feel like Gazer was a good defense against your God catchers?
with collector, Yeah, because it's just so easy to get him in there. It's like a one cost. I forgot what he is, bolt or shield or something like that.
Mhm.
You could just bring him in for and now that token's gone forever. Now I got to cycle, something to get that God Catcher back. I thought that was a really, really good removal piece for God Catcher.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, with Collector rotating out, doesn't look like that's going to be a viable strategy moving forward.
I see.
Uh, we do have a new Collector coming that is similar. It's not exactly. I actually have that the prototype card.
Oh.
Weird flex, but okay. So, yeah, so that's. I don't know. It was. I felt like it was a really good card to get rid of tokens. I mean, it makes sense, right? You intimidate the crap out of them. If you could trigger it twice, why not?
And I know I really can't wait for the second and third video to come out because I think Ryan did a good job on them. And I was really surprised with how well Rob played, and I'm surprised he didn't play Fix It. But he wanted to play the most degenerate team and
Should.
not care.
Good practice.
Yeah,
I think God Catcher's going to be around for a while, so the more practice you get with it, better.
that was honestly the main reason why I did it. It's like Godcatcher is going to be around. Let me try to do something with this. I had a ton of globals on my team too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many globals I had.
You didn't use half of them the first game.
Yeah.
And not that a lot of the global hate's gone, especially with like a lot of action hate. I think we're going to see a lot more globals on there, and even some of the things that I've been playing a lot lately has a lot of globals on there, trying to move dice around. Walking with Elias Supreme Intelligence, which is one of my favorites,
Yeah.
So yeah,
What is that noise? Do you guys hear that?
Can you hear that? Yeah, I think it's someone's food garbage disposal and their
Okay.
sink.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's,
I was
is
making
it
sure it
loud?
wasn't. We can hear it, but it's not that big a deal.
I think it's gone now.
No.
Okay, well, I muted myself. I muted myself, that's why.
All right. So
So just to round out the rest of the field, I'll just give you the top three. Well, let's do top four. True Mr. Six, myself, Mr. McCat, and then Stu Art came in, rounding out the top four there. So
Well, congratulations
good.
to you all.
and
Sound like it was a good day.
it was fun. And it went by fast.
Yeah.
So like this sort of event is something you can sit down, get some games in early in the day, and then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you want. Like it's
Nice.
you got your Dice Master fix. You don't have to scratch and fiend for a Dice Master's game. You got it in.
I mowed the
Yeah, you
lawn
fixed
after
it.
it.
Yeah, you had a good day.
No, mowing the lawn was terrible. But yeah.
I always find it relaxing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all we have to say about that.
I like to mow lawns.
So you guys, everyone's probably wondering why we have it set up the way we have it set up. But we're going to be talking about a team pack that year 2 team pack that Robert's been championing.
Say it right. Year 2
you said
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
I refuse
Yeah.
to say that. I hate that. Robert had to make the thumbnail because I refused.
Do y'all like that thumbnail? Do you think the thumbnail came
I
out cool?
love
I
the
thought it was
thumbnail.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a big
Thanks.
fan of graffiti style artwork, so yeah, I loved it very much.
Call me a hammer because I nailed it.
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Right.
So we handled this pretty basic kind of way. We basically asked everyone in our little group, our 5-person. Well, not everyone responded, but we asked everyone in our little group. It was 6 people total. We got all responses except for one person, and we kind of got similar things together. And Robert went through the science of it, and science. He looked at things and saw how it went. So Robert, you want to take us through the process?
I will, but before I do that, make sure to like and subscribe and click the little bell to get notifications.
Yeah.
Let you know
All
when
right.
we're on and doing stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, the process was basically, hey guys, we're gonna do a team pack again. Give me your top 5 cards. Was it 5? It was 5, right?
It was
Give me
5.
the top 5 cards from each of these sets. So, top 4?
I think it was
It's
4.
4 or 5. I don't remember, man. Hold on, I have it right in front of me.
We slipped a long time since a few
It's
times.
been a while. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was top 5.
It was 5.
All right.
5, and then our 3 basic actions for those.
Yep.
All right.
So we did top 5. from each set, which was Age of Ultron, War of Light, Amazing Spider-Man, Faerun Under Siege, and World's Finest. And then we said, I told him, give me the top three cards out of that entire range, top three basic action cards out of those five sets. We're only going to pick three out of those three sets, or those five sets. We voted on them, and this is what we came up with. Um, they kind of fall in the realm of we played these a lot. The meta played these a lot. These are cards that we think people would like to have just as part of their collection. Something that a new player might want to have as as a key piece for any golden age situation. Just different factors that we thought about when we picked these cards. So yeah, do you want to go ahead and jump into it?
All right.
Let's do her.
Let's start with our basic action. So the way we kind of treated it was kind of like a draft pack or a team pack situation. So what do we got first?
We have Cloud Kill.
Ooh, Cloud Kill is from Faerun Under Siege.
Want to say it's the most annoying card I've ever had to play against when I've played.
So basically, Cloud Kill is a three cost that says deal one damage to each opposing character. Character dice damaged by this effect cannot attack or block this turn unless the opponent pays one per character die. So it's super taxing. If your opponent doesn't have anything in their reserve pool, they're not going to be able to block. So you can just push through with all kinds of damage.
And you would have that in conjunction with like a card like Elf Thief or something like that. So if they are saving stuff, you just, oh, I'll go ahead and take that from you. Stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
And it just is super annoying.
I myself didn't play this card just because I hated that. At my local scene, I didn't see it that often, but it just seemed like a really, really good basic action card. That's why I voted for it. Mike, what do you think?
It was the same way with me. I had only used it myself in casual settings because I was just too afraid to use it into the more competitive to give my opponent something else to put into his arsenal. So it was something I liked playing with, but it was something I didn't like to bring with me to bring for my opponent.
Yeah.
Fun in testing, but not fun in competitive when you're just bringing it for your opponent.
For sure. And that's always going to be the blowback from any basic action die. Your opponent or basic action card is that your opponent can take advantage of it. They're community cards, and sometimes they're good and they hurt.
It really is when you're trying to figure out which ones you want to play with, because I play with a lot of action teams, especially being playing with a Boom Boom team, and they do love to buy my basic actions.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about it though. Like they can take your card, take your die, and use it on their team, but a lot of times their team is not built around that. But in the Cloud Kill days, talking to people that played in that day, everyone was built to play like a style of like Cloud Kill with Bard or something like that, or Vicious Struggle, and so everyone knew how to play with them. And you bringing it didn't matter unless the opponent was bringing basic actions that help them more, and Cloud Kill, if you brought it, helped them out extremely well. So
Yeah.
I always felt like you could put Cloud Kill in just about any kind of aggro setting and be effective.
Yeah. You just had to worry about someone scooping it up from underneath you. That was the only problem.
all right,
Cool.
next one.
Moving on to the next card. Our next card is another classic from Favorite Under Siege. That's going to be Blink Transmutation. It is a two cost. And that says use only after blockers are assigned. Each of your blocked character dice deals one damage to the defending player in addition to normal damage. So it's a really cool effect, but the main reason everyone was hyped up about this card is because of the global. Pay a mask, remove attacking character die from the attack zone. It stays in the field zone. So we've seen this card with what is her
Functional.
name? Functional. Why am I blanking
Kate.
on her? Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's back.
Kate Bishop before Bishop.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that was the main reason why you ran it. People did actually buy the basic action die. I remember playing against people that actually had it on their team and used it pretty effectively. It's super annoying, you know, taking damage from blocks and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But mostly it was there for the masks, especially in the days of Bard.
Yeah. And this is where we get the term "I'm gonna blink that back."
Exactly. That's it.
And the days of like your guy rushes and stuff like that was really,
Yes.
really effective, especially if you were running like something like Mask Ring. So you pretty much had it under control.
Yeah,
Ugh.
pretty much. Yeah, you had all the masks there, so you try to swing. It doesn't matter.
All the plenty.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
sir. You didn't say please.
yeah. And it's like, and then if you're not gonna attack, well, guess what? I got all these masks. I'll just PX you.
Yeah.
Move the rest of my sidekicks over, no problem.
Exactly. Cool. So that is the second basic action in our team pack. The third one is everyone's favorite.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yep. Everyone should have this card just so they can experience how terrible it is. Again, it was super popular. It was in meta. It was in like world championships or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, worlds for sure.
So Vicious Struggle, the 3 cost from War of Light, says until your next turn, deal your opponent 1 damage for each damage you take that doesn't come from Vicious Struggle. So if I take 1 damage, you're taking 1 damage plus 1, right? That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you're gonna take
it's
one, and they're gonna take one as well.
yeah, it's like a two. Is it a 2 for 1? Is that how it works?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's an
Okay.
annoying for
It's
annoying,
one
is
thing.
what it is.
So it's a 2 for 1. Sorry, when you combo it with the Luke Cage global from is it was that Spider Man or
Yes,
Yeah.
it came
Civil
from the
War?
Spider-Man set.
Okay, so basically, Luke Cage says you pay a fist, you deal yourself a damage, and deal your opponent a damage.
Hmm.
You couple that with Vicious Struggle, it's 2 for 1. I take a damage, but guess what? You're taking two.
And then when Cosmic Cube came out, it got nuts.
We
Eh,
played around with that in Dice Fight. It can get ridiculous on how much damage you can push out with the Luke Cage Global Vicious Struggle. A lot of energy in a Cosmic Cube.
yeah, it's nuts. And in these days, you had 1 cost fists like Cobalts,
Yep.
swarming Cobalts, so you can just scoop them all up, and you got fists aplenty. So there
No,
you go.
I remember one Worlds tournament at
What's wrong with you,
Origins.
Jazzy,
I
that
was
you like
trying
this?
to.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was trying to qualify one year, and I was literally the first person to stand up because I got turn 3 Vicious Struggle with
Oh
Cobalt.
no,
So I definitely have a horror story with Vicious Struggle. And I correct myself, it's not Dice Fight. I always want to say that, but it was Death Race.
Oh.
Death Race. There you go.
Death
That's
Race
what
when
I
we
thought
were
you were
doing the
talking
turn
about.
3 turns and stuff like that. I always want to play in Dice Fight and never get an opportunity. But in Death Race, we did the Vicious
Death Race.
Struggle and
I
Cosmic View.
I remember when I first started playing Dice Masters, Ryan used to play the crap out of that card. He played it so much he 3D printed these little skull tokens that he would put on the board to let everybody know. Don't forget, Vicious Struggles out here.
And it stays out there. It's just so nasty.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on to our first card out of Age of Ultron. And I think this one is probably one that everyone has heard of in some capacity. Magneto, Magnetic Monster, the 6 cost shield zombie,
So good.
Marvel Zombies affiliation. So it says zombie, when fielded, KO all non zombie Magnetos. While active, opposing character dice with purchase costs 3 or lower lose their abilities, and Professor X can't be fielded. It's a 1/4/3, a 2/5/6, and a 3/6/8. So he's beefy, and he's the answer to Guy Rush and Bards and things like that. Um, he's just he's just expensive.
Yeah.
But he was expensive, but you want to talk about a great control piece? I mean, all those little guys that can come out there fast. If you can get Magneto out there, they don't do anything.
Yeah,
And
they're
it
just bodies.
it's also known as zombie mags. If you hear someone say that, it's this card. So,
Zombie
Z-Max is
mags,
great.
Z mags, zombie mags. Yeah, it looks and it's cool art. If you've ever read the Marvel Zombies stories, you'll recognize the art on these.
Some of my favorites, actually. I even went so far as to start even reading the Ultimate Fantastic Four because that's where that whole like thing it permeated from was the stories from the Ultimate Fantastic Four of that Reed Richards trying to find different parallel universes. It
Oh
was
wow.
actually the zombie Reed Richards that reached out to him to try to bring them to his universe.
Oh,
To get
that's pretty
sidetracked.
cool.
Yeah, no, I love the Marvel Zombies.
Well, that is interesting. But yeah, zombie mags, Z mags, Magneto, whatever you want to call them, crazy, ridiculous control
So
piece.
good.
And he's a super rare, so it was hard to get, and that was one of the reasons that I think a lot of people were drawn to him. Besides the awesome ability,
Yeah.
but he's also a super rare, and this is just the kind of power that super rares had back in those days.
Right. If you were to get a super rare heat, yeah, that one was the one to get. And then they came in the full arts too.
Oh yeah, the chase ones,
Yeah.
right?
So you have the chase ones and the normal ones. So if you were lucky enough to get one of the chase ones, oh, it was always so good.
I think during its time, he was the boogeyman of the format, wasn't he?
Oh
Like you
yeah,
didn't want
until
to
I
play
think it
against
was
it because it was mostly just small rush teams.
it really got cut when they ruled that he couldn't work against lantern ring teams that didn't dull him out that way of doing that kind of damage.
Yeah,
So like it was ruled that the lantern ring was an additional ability on top of what was going on to the character, I
yeah.
believe.
I think that's right. The lantern ring gave the ability, so even though the character was blank, the
The
lantern ring was
damage.
not.
Hmm.
It was like an
So the
equipment.
damage was
So for a
something like
while
that.
there, yeah, when that got ruled, it was then after a while he really started losing a lot of traction, and you see him in a lot of play. So there
Yeah.
was a sad moment at that time.
People wanted
Oh
to start
sure.
playing him against Yanti. It's like he's too slow for Yanti, like
Oh
the super
no.
Yanti.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe in today with a Creek Crafton Global, we could get him down to 5 energy, I think, and then maybe move him over. I don't know. I mean, maybe in today's meta in the Golden, we can make him faster, but it's real hard at a 6 cost, and then
Yeah.
his fielding costs on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
You have to
ways to get
dedicate a
around that.
lot of energy.
But if you can get him out there, he's shutting down those winning teams.
Mel, if you're looking for these types of cards, the best place to find them is probably in the Dice Masters Facebook groups. People are buying and selling all the time. You might be able to find some on eBay, but that's going to be a tough find. And I don't know what they're going for anymore on eBay since I haven't been searching for them.
Yeah.
But that I don't know how much that one used to go for a pretty penny back in the day.
Oh yeah.
All
I don't
right,
think it goes for that much anymore, but
probably not because I've seen a
Probably.
lot of super rares like $13 now.
yeah.
Oh, I
So
think probably below $10. Anything that's not in any kind of rotation.
true.
Any kind of secondary marker with that. Now that anything is all the modern things are all the LCG, I don't see a lot of value in some of those older cards except for
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
mm, it really is.
All
All right.
right.
And on that note,
Next up on the team in the team pack is Ultron Drone, 1 of a million, 3 cost fist Hydra affiliation, which is also a villain affiliation. Capture each character blocking Ultron Drone and deal damage to the defending player equal to its fielding cost. Return it at the end of the turn. Global, pay 2 fists. Choose an opposing character die to block a character die of your choice this turn. Is a 0-1-3, a 1-2-4, a 2-4-4. So, yeah.
Mike, what's one of the downsides of this taking it to a competitive event?
I was more of a fan of the 0-1-0-0-0-1-1-0 because I could push more damage through him, in my opinion, and stuff like that. With this one, I really didn't play with this one myself much. I
Yeah.
actually used this one.
Yeah, a couple of folks had this one in there in the vote. I know I also had the other one, and I think we split the vote on this one. But yeah, I was a fan of the other one because you could overcrush damage. I think this one is just you can force as many characters as possible to block Ultron Drone with
Right.
that global, and then deal damage to your opponent on their based on their fielding cost. So it's just another way to do some damage as opposed to just doing overcrushing damage.
I think they're about equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
It
both
just depends
really
on like
good
your strategy and how you were using them.
Yeah.
for sure. And is the other one the 0-1 whatever it is, the binary one?
Hmm.
Is that a rare card?
No, it was actually a common.
Oh wow.
But
So the common and the uncommon.
before we started, you said one of the things for the 0-1, the other one you said just writing it in the little form whenever you're doing the competition.
Yeah, right, because you have to write the whole thing across a new thing. So it's just like, oh my gosh, it's gonna all fit. It's just like that. And Lantern Ring limited by imagination. You're writing a paragraph out here. Like, here's my team list.
For sure. Cool. So that's going to round out our basic actions, and our Age of Ultron. So if you have any cards that you thought you would have picked out of the top two cards in the set, let us know in the comments. Let us know in Discord. Do that for each set. What would your team pack look like? So moving on, we have the War of Light block here. I
Love
think
this
this
one.
one is so good.
Yeah.
It
Love
doesn't
this
matter which version. If you had the super rare, we went with uncommon. I think the ability might be better, but it didn't really matter because we're just here for the global.
Yeah.
Uh, the Parallax Source of Global 6 cost mask, villain affiliation, and Yellow Lantern affiliation. So it says while Parallax is active, if you roll at least 3 mask symbols, excluding question marks, draw and roll 2 dice at the end of the roll and reroll step. But the global is where the magic happens. Pay one or use one generic. Reroll any number of dice before your attack step. And it is a 144, a 166, and a 168. I think so. Yeah, going back to the global, that's the biggest thing there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. That global saw a lot of play.
So now that this is just used to reroll action dice, and I think a Serac, the uncommon, is never going to be used in competitive play in any kind of
Ever.
format because it was like the weakest parallax ever.
You only could do it once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can only do it one time. Yeah,
With
and the thing
parallax, they can do
about
it all the time.
with parallax, you can reroll character dice in your field zone. I don't know if Acerac lets you do that.
No.
No.
Parallax, you can grab if you have some characters fielded that you need to get another when fielded ability trigger. Re-roll it again. Hopefully, you'll roll it. If not, guess what? You can pay one and re-roll it again.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little trick, and this used to confuse people. If you rolled a character,
Yeah.
That
if
parallax.
you spun down a character, so say you had a character
Oh.
on double energy, you couldn't spin it down, re-roll everything, and then spin it again. You couldn't do that because then you'd just be in this infinite loop of trying to get what you want.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to roll that die.
People tried.
People tried, yeah. People are always trying to break the game, and that seems like every game. But yeah, this one was really fun until it got rotated out. It was great. It was on a lot of teams. I don't want to say every team, but a lot of teams
Every Yanti team had this on there.
for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I'd go with the turn 3 kill death race again and stuff. I guess my favorite things was to use the Clayface Global to grab something, put it into my reserve, and then re-roll it again with Parallax. So I can hope to get a character out of it to field it.
Oh, that's so good. I
So
like
gross.
that.
Man,
And
Golden's
then
so
just
stupid now. Holy crap.
Golden's a whole new monster with some of these things. And if you just go with no bans and stuff other than just like the normal bans, turn 3 kills are real easy.
that's awesome.
And like the easiest one to ban would be Morphing Jar. Funny enough, without Morphing Jar, it makes it a little bit more hard, a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, 1 cost mass character. Who would have
Mhm.
thought that would
From
that might be a
Yu-Gi-Oh.
little too OP, you know what I mean?
Oh,
All
man.
right, let's keep this party going. Next up, we have the Lantern Ring, limited
Oh,
only by
dread it.
imagination. The 4 cost bolt. It is a Green Lantern, and I guess that's a Lantern affiliation. I don't remember
Mhm.
what that thing is. It's been a while.
That's like an artifact, I think, like a lantern artifact thing. It's only like the ring and
The
the
battery have
battery
it.
have it.
Okay. So Lantern Ring says continuous. While active, when your character is attacked, they deal 1 damage to target player for each energy symbol in your reserve pool that matches their type. So basically, if I have a mask team, I swing with a mask character, right? And I have
Mhm.
2 mask energy symbols in my reserve pool. I'm gonna do 2 damage to you just for having that energy in my reserve pool.
Just for
Yep.
doing that.
Just for doing that. So it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Yes. It's so strong. It's so strong. I mean, again, when you throw that morphing jar in there, just with those alone, you could do so much damage.
Morphine jar. I remember seeing a lot of elf thieves in there,
Uh,
mixed in there with that.
when multiple
PXG
man,
was on that team. Multiple man. I
when
remember. I think
multiple
that's what
man
I
came
used
out, it was
against
just like,
Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't include it
Multiple.
on my list for on principle alone, but it was tied with something, and I had to say that yes, it should be in the team pack. I feel dirty for saying that too.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it was a staple. It has a reprint of sorts with Green Lantern and
Hmm.
the Justice set, I believe. But it's not as strong as this one.
A
So
more balanced version, if you will.
for sure. Yep. And the
Yeah.
thing about the time when this card exists, there was a way to remove basic actions or sorry, continuous action dice
Hmm.
from the field. So it yes, it was strong, but also you had ways to get rid of it.
Oh, that's where you
So
can use like Bloods from the same War of Light set or Breaker from the Yu-Gi-Oh set that removed actions and stuff like that. So it was an opportunity to play some other cards and stuff like that from those days that were kind of control pieces for that sort of thing.
and that's one of the things that I feel like modern has been missing for a long time is action dice removal,
Hmm.
continuous action dice removal,
You know, being able to get something out of the field that way.
for sure.
Oh, I hate that card.
A lot of people hated that card.
Yeah, I it took me forever to get a copy of it,
Hmm.
and
When I
by the
brought it
time I got it, it was too late.
Yeah.
when I brought it to my local group, it was just like after the first time, it's like, no, no more.
Can't take it anymore, champ. Can't take it anymore.
All right, let's move it along to Spider Man. There are some other really good War of Light cards in there. Again, let us
It's
know which
so
one you would
great.
have put in there.
Hmm.
Next card in the team pack is from Amazing Spider-Man. That is going to be White Tiger, Mystical Amulet, 3 cost fist with Spider Friends. That's what that is, right?
Hmm.
As affiliation. And she says, when fielded, you may sacrifice another character to give this die +1 attack, +1 defense, and overcrush until the end of turn. Sacrificed characters go to the use pile. She's a 013, a 124, and a 245. So you can get an overcrusher by sacrificing a sidekick and get it a 5/6 overcrusher.
Yeah.
But the
Hmm.
real reason she's there is for the global that says pay a fist. Once during your turn, each player must field a sidekick die from their use pile. So if you're like me and you love running flying sidekicks teams, this is the global for you. It's going to help you get your sidekicks in the field. That yes, your opponent does get a sidekick, but if they don't have anything there, they don't get to take advantage of it.
And plus, there's cards that you used to use that you got plus for having each sidekick in the field,
Hmm.
and the opponent couldn't do anything about it at
Yeah,
all. So annoying. So
well,
annoying.
so much fun. And I think in our first team pack we put that Falcon
Yeah.
for flying sidekicks. So you couple that with this, and you're gonna have a nice, tasty flying sidekick team.
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely.
And I think this particular one might be out of the starter set.
It is out of the starter.
Yep.
So there you go,
Oh, it's like
Spider-Man
a
starter.
good Gabi team from back in the day because you could still use that old
Yes,
school Gabi with her. So there's many sidekicks you can throw out there, and as many Gabis as I can field.
yes, sir. So much fun. I got my Gabi super late, so I didn't really get a chance to play him. So, boo. But I got one. The next card in the team pack is going to be Mary Jane MJ, the 2 cost mask Spider Friend affiliation. She is an ally, so she counts as a sidekick when she's in the field zone. And when she's fielded, target non villain character you control gains Overcrush this turn. If you targeted Spider Man, he also gets +1 attack. She is a 011, a 113, and a 123. This is amazing. I love this card. I used to play it all the time with my Hulk from Age of Ultron.
Hmm.
That I used to play it with that. So good. You just automatic you field her something gets overcrushed. That's probably when you need her to do that. I used to use the Wolverine that does double damage when he's blocked.
Another great one, yeah.
Giving him overcrush is just ridiculous. And if you can get Bullseye from Civil War out there, Lady Bullseye that does double damage, and then
Mm.
you're doing the Wolverine that does double damage, you're doing quadruple damage overcrushing, and it's ridiculous.
She
Double
was a nice.
quattro.
I thought a nice pivot when I was running a mask ring team, another low cost mask. But they, if I couldn't get that damage through, or if I missed my lantern ring, that I had an ability to be able to throw something big out there, maybe give it overcrush to push damage. Just an overall great card, low cost, great fielding cost, just a great card.
For sure. I loved it. It's great. I like the little icon on it too. It's a night the pink dye with the little Spider-Man heart eyes. I think that's so cool.
Did you melt
Perfect.
the first time you saw that die?
I did. I did.
I don't know if
She
people
is
really
my
like
main
this
flame.
set, but I really like this set. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I don't know. People have mixed feelings about it. I personally like it because I bring this up every opportunity I get. I won a Rainbow Draft weekend playing the
Yeah,
Spider-Man set. So I really enjoy it. I use the Black Cat to my advantage. The one that when you field something, you get to KO or move something to use pile, something like that. You re-roll it. So that was fun.
I think the
I feel
general
like
consensus is everyone hates Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's weird.
but
I
I feel
get it
like
though.
even in an affiliation match, a Spider-Man team is really strong. So
Yeah.
Yes, it really is. It really is. Spider-Man has a lot of good like OP cards too, like organized play cards. So
hmm
if
Yep.
you can
the,
get your
the
hands on those,
the promo Spider Gwen was one of my favorites.
yep. All right, let's move it along to everyone's favorite bard, guitar wielding bard.
What set
So
is
the half,
this?
this is going to be Faerun Under Siege.
Some of the most
So
broken cards from the game.
yeah, there are so many ridiculous stuff in this set. It was so good though. So we
Elf
got
Thief.
half elf, yes, half elf bard, master lords alliance, 4 cost shield, which is a good guy, right? With equip. I don't know what that flag is. We never really paid attention to that ever in Dice Masters for the most part. He
The D
has
and D folks would know that.
experience. The DM, yeah, he has experience, which I don't think anyone ever paid attention to. So when Half Elf Bard attacks, each attacking character die gets +1/+1 for each of your other different character dice. And he is a 013, a 023, a 135. So if you swing in with 5 different characters, guess what? Each one of those characters are getting +4.
Mm.
It's crazy.
You couple that with like Guy Rush, Miri Ream, and a few other low cost characters and get him out there. Yeah, he can deal a lot of damage really fast.
Yep. I think he has his own little nickname for his team, the Bard Saw. Is that what it's called?
Oh,
The bird saw's gonna get you.
that's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called, the Bard Saw.
Yeah. Because I mean, it used to just wreck face. As soon as you seen him out there with a multitude of different characters and sidekicks, it was pretty much over.
I think it's table flip time at that point.
Yeah.
No, lots
And
of rage.
the good thing about it and the bad thing about it, it was so easy to get this card because it came in the starter.
Another one that just came right out of the starter pack.
That's crazy how powerful these starter sets are. But yeah, that's a really really good one. And he has another printing that is a good one as well. So like it's crazy. You know what I mean? And that's the one where you could put I guess the helmet on him to protect your creatures
Yeah,
or
well, half
your
elf is
characters.
active. Your other character dice of equal or lower level of your highest level are not affected by opposing character abilities. Is that one?
Yep. And then I think you put the helmet on him and it redirects all abilities to him. And then that's it. Like what? But anyways, this one in particular is ridiculous. It was a meta staple. You saw this at all the big tournaments. I don't know if it won a championship or not.
Yeah.
I don't. Not it did. So there you go.
I think it was.
Big enough to get banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one actually got a foily reprint, didn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Shows how good it is. Speaking of foily reprints, next Dwarf Wizard Paragon Zentirum. I think I
Sure.
said that right. A 3 cost bolt, good guy with equip. Again, don't know what that flag probably is in theorem. He also has experience, which no one cares about when you're playing this card because you have it on different teams. He says, when fielded, target a character die. While Dwarf Wizard is active, copies of that character die in the field zone have no text. If you field another Dwarf Wizard die, target a new die, canceling all previous choices. And Dwarf Wizard is a 002, a 013, and a 024. So it's just great control.
Yeah. It's the fairer shriek. In my
Yeah, I
opinion.
think it was the fairest Shriek out there and stuff like that. As much as people has hated Shriek and stuff like that, I felt Dwarf Wizard, the fact that it had to target a die that was in the field, made it a lot more fair
Yeah.
rather than just
for sure.
targeting a card. But yeah, that was another one that was coveted by a lot of people or sought after just for its control piece.
Yep, I remember that one going for like $16 to $25 at one point. I think.
Easy.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had 2 of them at one time, and I traded one away to get some cards that I needed. It was a long time ago, but yeah, it was a good card.
I traded a Sar Colossus for that. For
Did
Dwarf
you?
Wizard. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that, you won that trade.
Yeah, it was
For
Ryan.
being
I think
honest.
Ryan was just trying to be nice and like help me get into the game a little bit more. So,
Probably so.
and he didn't have
Yeah.
Sar Colossus, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
trade you that."
He's a completist, so it made sense.
Yeah, having
Yeah,
that
I
one
would probably do
card,
the same thing.
the one card, him having it was more important than him getting a equal trade. I think.
Yeah, and you know what? That's another really good thing that about the community. I've seen that a lot with people. They don't care. They like to collect the cards and have all of, like have complete sets and stuff, and they'll do an unbalanced trade. They don't care. They just want the card,
Yeah.
and they want everyone to have fun playing the game.
I've definitely been there. Just being able to, if somebody was missing something I had extra, I'm more than willing to help somebody out with that. So
For sure. Cool. So yeah, Dwarf Wizard D Wiz,
I love them.
legit. Yep, and he had a really cool alt art reprint.
Oh
So
yeah,
That
it did.
Robert wanted really bad and finally got.
yeah, I finally got it after it had been rotated out. But you know, what? I don't care. I got it.
Hey, never go for a golden event.
That's true. Next up, we're moving on to World's Finest, which is going to be the last set in here. We have Oracle Master Investigator, a four-cost mask, Bat Family. While Oracle is active, your opponents pay one more to use global abilities.
Oh,
She is a 013, a 014, and a 025. She is free to field. She taxes the crap out of you, and it's hard to get rid of her.
Yeah.
and you're trying to PXG anything with her out there, you're not gonna. You want to
You're
try to
not.
blink back something with her out there, you're not gonna. Couple with somebody using L Thief, you're just losing your G for
Yeah.
no reason.
It was so she's so oppressive, man. And all three versions of her are honestly pretty good.
Yeah, it just depended on what you wanted to attack somebody on.
And if I'm looking at this number correctly, guess what, guys? This is another card from the starter set.
Yep.
Exactly. All three versions.
So good.
I don't think there was a regular version in this set, was there? It was just all
No, there
starter.
was one. There was one
There's
floating.
one.
I think it was like the three in the starter pack, and then there was one that you could get out of there. And I think
Yep.
that was the one where they used an action die.
So it
Yeah, I
wasn't
think
as
so,
good.
something like-
No.
I mean, all of her cards are taxing, and they're good for what they are. But this is obviously the standout, one of the standout better ones. I think there's another one that's pretty good.
You
They
wanted to
got
slow your. Sorry, you wanted to slow your opponent down. That was the one to use.
Yeah, for sure. I think the one they got the reprint was Watchtower Invest, something like that. That one had the alt art reprint, and that was a really cool alt art. But yeah, Oracle, tax lady, pay your taxes.
I wish they had more because in Magic I like playing taxing type things, and I'm a monster, I know, but I like playing taxing type things, and I think it kind of evens things out if you don't have ridiculously good cards.
Yeah.
You just put out this tax card and you're like, yeah, I like your cards over there. They're pretty good. Let's make them cost a little bit more.
A lot more.
For sure. Okay, last card in our team pack is one. World's Finest was one of the harder sets to decide on, but we went with one that would probably benefit everybody, and that's going to be Kryptonite Green Death, two cost mask action dice that says ignore text on target characters, on target dice character card for each of its dice and global abilities. You know, a burst, double burst, also Superman character dice, Super Family or whatever they're called. Superman, is it Superman Family?
They're super friends.
Super Friends character dice can't block. So it's targeted blanking ability. It's really good. The reason that this one stood out a lot in the meta was because you couple this with Ultraman. So the problem we had with putting Ultraman in here was that Ultraman's only really effective if you use Kryptonite. Kryptonite is obviously the key there to using Ultraman, so we put Kryptonite in the team pack.
And Kryptonite was good with Yanti teams, basically action-heavy teams that just utilized just a rotation of something to just either hose the opponent or just push through damage. And Kryptonite was amazing for
It
that.
totally was. I mean, the fact it was a two-cost bolt, even if I wasn't getting the kryptonite, I was getting those bolts to either feed into and vulnerability or raise shields or Horn of the Unicorn at that time, I guess, or something like that, you know. So it was cheap and effective. I used it in a lot of teams. I never really even played an Ultraman team, but that Kryptonite was always almost like an autofill just for the controlliness of it all and the bolts.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, the bolts was the biggest thing for me personally. I didn't use this card a lot, but when I did, it was because of the bolts.
Hmm.
Yeah, my personal choice for this set, number one draft pick would have been Babs,
It's such a
Batgirl.
good
I hate
card.
that card.
I
I love
love
her
it
with
so
Throne
much.
Brick. With her and Throne Brick is so much fun.
So
You
good,
take
man.
4, you take 4, and I get to
Or
pick
with
5.
Cosmic Cube, hello.
Oh
I'll
my
just
god,
do 4 damage spread out to each individual character and done. But yeah, she's so good. I'm surprised none of y'all liked her. I know Chris probably didn't vote for her out of principle again because he hates her so much.
It
But
was your
she is a
mainstay in a
good
lot of
card.
teams. That's why it's just like I
It
don't
was.
like it at
I
all.
I mean,
love it
come on.
so much.
I was trying to push for Uncommon Doomsday and Trusted Friend BAC.
I mean, that was a legit team, you know. The Doomsday team was a thing.
The only thing to use Trusted Friend for just so I can
Yeah,
turn it into supers and then destroy them.
all of them. Everybody's gone. Board white. Yeah, that
We know how you like board
Babs.
wipes.
I do love board wipes. Yeah, Babs was my card though. I love the art on it and everything. So that's our team pack, guys. Let us know what you think about the team pack in the comment or in our Discord. You need the links to Discord. It's in the description. Join it. Let us know what you're thinking about this and what cards you would have picked.
And definitely just to see what everybody else would have thought what they would have picked out of those sets. Just
For
sort of
sure.
that's great cards out of those sets, you know. So it was really, really hard to pin down what you were able to see in these new team packs. Though I would
Yep.
love to see Kryptonite in the modern meta these days.
Yeah, that would be really good.
And I
Triggering some god catchers.
and I feel like what the stuff we picked was actually reasonable and fair.
Yeah.
So, and we
Yeah.
have something else to talk about if everyone minds going over a little bit here. So,
I'm good if you are, man. I don't think the next stuff should take too long.
no, it should.
If we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jimmy, to throw a bone to everyone, he shared some cards that he spoiled to us essentially, and we kind of have it cropped out. The pictures aren't that great. We're trying to make it look good, so excuse this while we're trying to do this, but we're trying our best. Let me make sure that's in there correct. This
Yeah,
is-
we had to snip the pictures out of the. There was 5 cards in that one picture, and they were some of them were big, some of them were small. So we had to try to make them. Had to try to make them. So all praise be to Chris for that, for at least making it look decent. Because if it wasn't for that, we'd be looking at these little tiny images on the screen right now.
And that's what I was doing the first 5 minutes of the stream,
Yeah.
by the way.
The good thing is I was able to read the text and pull it out and type it out for us, so that we don't have to struggle to read it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've been reading all these things and I've been talking a lot this episode. So I'll let y'all go ahead and read these.
Mike, you want to get the first one? It's Rally, or if you want me to get
Okay.
it.
So it's rally. Move up to 2 sidekick dice from your used pile to your field zone. Double burst instead. Move up to 3 sidekick dice. Another one for a reprint from AVX, I believe.
Yep.
That's where it's from. I think
Yeah,
it
I
has
think
an
it was a
OP card
promo.
too, right?
No, it's a promo card that came out in
Okay.
that set.
Oh, it has them all going like this, right? With the
Mhm.
shield. Okay, yeah, I think I
I
have
love
that card.
this new art here with this though.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
No, it's
And
beautiful.
it's a 3 cost. I don't know, man. It's a good. I guess it's good. You get to get some sidekicks out of your use pile. Maybe 3 if you're lucky. If
It
you're
was a lot of-
nasty.
Back in the
But
day, I tried to get to work with Gabi. It was a lot of fun to try to work with that.
oh really? Did it work though?
Not much.
Oh my gosh. Cool.
All right, and I'll take the next one. It is Bishop, Tortured Timeline, 4-cost shield, X-Men affiliation. Opposing effects can't cause Bishop to be rerolled or cause you to spin a Bishop die up or down. He's a 1/2/5, 1/3/6, 2/5/6.
He's a beefy boy, but I feel like we got spoiled from the previous Bishop butterfly effect. Hopefully, there's better versions than this one. Also, I don't like that picture of him. Looks horrible.
Oh, man, the art's not real. But yeah, I'm hoping to see a better version of him.
For
It's cool
sure.
to see him coming back.
Yep. I like the dye, the art, the actual dye itself, how it's black and red. I think that looks cool.
Yeah, that definitely looks good.
Yep.
One. That's Mystique, Relentless, 2-cost mask, X-Men affiliation. While Wolverine is active, Mystique gets +2 attack, and she has a global pay mask. Target character 2 mask. Target character die can't block this turn if it shares a team affiliation with a character card on your team.
Hmm.
All right.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, that's very niche. It's kind of hard to kind of pull off in a team.
Yeah, I think that based off a card we're going to see next, that this is after the next one. It's very targeted towards draft in set, and I think that's what that global is really aiming towards.
Okay.
Maybe there's going to be a good Wolverine in there, a cheap Wolverine to help Mystique out because she's not very beefy. I didn't put the her
Yeah, I
costs
didn't.
on there.
I read it off the teleprompter.
Yeah, sorry. She's like a 011, a 012, and like a 122 or something like that. I'm sorry, guys. I failed you. I failed this city.
You were the chosen one.
I know, and I let y'all down, but I don't know. I wouldn't play it.
Okay, bold. All right,
Yeah, Mike,
moving.
what do you think?
No, I'd probably be a hard pass to figure out how to get that to work. It feels like it's got way too many pieces in there for me to try to mess around with.
Yeah,
Maybe in a draft setting, I'd maybe kind of go for it just because it's kind of how I am sometimes. But yeah, not on purpose, I think.
her
In
best ability is that it's a two-cost mask, and you can buy a bunch of them. Have a bunch of masks. Honestly,
in the immortal words of Randy Jackson, it's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Maybe a hard no.
hard no.
All right, and next one.
To take this one.
Sure.
Couple of things before we do that. Bishop and Mystique were both max dice 3, by the way.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
crazy. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't. I thought that was a weird thing. I cut it off. It was in the other document that I had. Yeah. So real quick, Mystique is a 111, a 011, and a 211. So the only way she's getting buffed is by Wolverine. So yeah, it's going to be a no for me, like you said.
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so the next one's going to be Cyclops, first class, 5-cost Bolt X-Men affiliation. Founder, while Cyclops is active, when you field a character die with Founder, deal 2 damage to target character die.
So new keyword.
Do we know anything about Founder?
That's in. Looking at the comments from the post, it just said that it was a keyword, and that it kind of works like the other, what is it, heroic or team up or whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's gonna kind of work like that, where it'll have the keyword, but it also have what the keyword does
with that
afterwards.
specific character.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's interesting. I mean, it's a 5 cost. It's cheap to field. It's a one. It only costs 1 to field across the board. So we see how we can get 5 costs pretty easy nowadays. And this is an X-Men set, so I'm assuming we're gonna see some kind of PXG prep, something like that in here. So it might not be too hard to get this Cyclops and just field stuff with Founder. I'm assuming Founders are probably going to be like Iceman, Beast, Marvel Girl,
Professor Xavier.
Professor Xavier, Cyclops. That might be Founder. Who knows? So
Might be interesting with some Hope shenanigans.
could be.
Oh, let's not. Oh no.
Yeah, it just triggered.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is a Bolt character. Earlier versions of Cyclops, people would use him with the Bolt ping team. So he's just kind of carrying on that tradition here.
All right.
And last but not least, go for it. Who wants it?
I'll take it.
All right.
So it's a Deadpool. Is it really called number 1 draft pick?
Yep.
Oh my god. All right.
Breaking that fourth wall.
4-cost Fist, X-Men, Deadpool family. In this game, if this game is in the draft format, at the start of the game, pick a card on your team. That card costs 1 generic less to purchase this game. to a minimum of one. That's so stupid. That's
I
really
love it.
stupid. That's
And
that should
he's a
be
zero
breaks the
two
fourth
four.
wall. That
I'm sure he probably has another one.
yeah.
His costs are 024, 025, 1370 is a max die for. He has
That's
a
fun.
7 defense on that level 3 side, guys.
That's so great. I mean, that is huge. That is a huge defense.
And he doesn't. It sounds like he doesn't even need to be in the field because it says at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
no. No, because again, he's just going to break that fourth wall and do what he wants to do.
Just gonna name
It's
Hope.
very, yeah. Why not? You know what I mean? Maybe now you can get your Cyclops for a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
You
you
know,
go.
because he would be the only one out of these cards that I would want to get a discount on and play. Because Bishop and Mystique aren't that great. But yeah, what do y'all think about those spoilers? Really, Deadpool's kind of the funniest one. I think he's very thematic for being Deadpool. Overall, I feel like Cyclops might be. If you handed me these cards, I probably would pick Deadpool first though, just to
Yeah.
get that discount.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's ridiculous.
I feel like
It's so
Deadpool is
silly.
the pick one, and like if it is a draft, he's pack one, pick one. Period. Like you
Yeah.
always take him.
Remember running X Men.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if he's in a wrong set, like you're drafting uh, a D&D set, he might be a little bit harder to pick, but I still think he's pick one.
You slide him in there somehow. I don't know how this got in here. He's Deadpool. He can go wherever he wants.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh,
Cool. So thanks to Jimmy for giving us that little bit of
quarantine
spoil
relief.
sport. Yeah, quarantine relief. Some one thing that we did kind of skip over was the WizKids announcements because of the quarantine. Now that you mention it,
Oh,
we can just touch base on those real quick as we move on, and then I'll give you my hot take. Origins and the UK Gaming Expo WizKids appearances have been canceled
Unfortunately, yeah.
due to the virus and things like that. So that kind of sucks. The virus is kind of taking over a lot of things right now, and obviously safety is more important than anything else.
mm-hmm.
So totally understandable. It's disappointing, yes. A lot of people look forward to those things, but again, in the name of safety and everybody's health, it's probably best for everyone just let's cancel it.
Yeah.
Let's get over this hump so that way we can all congregate together safely and responsibly and, in a better time and not less stress.
For sure.
That ruins
Unfortunately,
that ruins our plans.
yeah, sucks. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. Uh, that does lead to the next point that we have as far as announcements go. That there's possible product delays. There are product delays right now, as far as Hero Clicks goes. It's probably gonna carry over to Dice Masters. It's pretty much a guaranteed at this point. They didn't say anything. They're not confirming it, but just based on the record and based on the severity of everything, more than likely it's gonna happen. So we might not have our Dice Masters in May. You know what? I'm fine with it. If it's for everyone's benefit, I'm all for it. I don't care. Let's
Yeah.
do what's right and not what's easy. So
Mhm. At this point, I'm ready to forego our gaming stuff for this matter to make sure that our grocery stores are stocked and everybody has the medical supplies that they need during this time and stuff like that. So,
for sure.
as much as we'd love to have that new product come out there and stuff like that, again, we emphasize that everybody's safety and
Mm-hmm.
well-being is more important at this time. So,
100%.
all our hearts out to everybody out there and their family.
100%. And if you have any friends or family that work in the medical field or essential workers as they've been deemed,
Mhm.
just let them know that we're on their side. They're honestly they're heroes right now. As
That's the right
dramatic
term
as
for
that
it right now.
sounds, they're
No.
heroes.
Those
Mm-hmm.
people
So
right now, as they were saying and stuff like that, on the front lines and stuff like that, exposing themselves to whatever's going on, because it's something that's so uncertain right now. So these are the people out there right now making sure that their packages are getting to you, or making sure that things are being shipped out properly and things are being stocked and stuff like that. The medical field, of course, is going to be a big surge in that and stuff like that. But just those people that in the day to day that people don't really want to think about. Um, those are the people out there right now risking everything to make sure that things are still moving as they should be, keeping those supply chains going. So,
100%. And if you know it, tell them thank you. Tell them thank you from me. If nobody else tells them thank you, I'm saying thank you from everybody.
everyone,
We
everyone
really
needs to be
appreciate
said.
it.
Mm-hmm. Because right now, that's what's keeping all of us supplied.
For sure. Cool. So we're already 11 minutes over. So hopefully, I doubt this is the reason everyone's stuck around.
Yeah.
But I got a hot take, guys. I got an unpopular opinion. Are you sitting down?
No.
Yes, you're sitting
Yes.
down. All right. So the last couple of days, obviously, we've been in quarantine. I decided to rewatch a trilogy. And I have come to the conclusion that it is the greatest trilogy of all time. So it's not Back to the Future, Mike. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's not even Star Wars, guys.
Mm.
It's not Twilight either. For
I would have thought that would have
all you
been your
Twilight
number one
folks,
pick.
That's too
the
well.
greatest trilogy of all time is Lord of the Rings. You can't argue with me. I don't care if you do because I won't listen. You're not going to change my mind. Lord of the Rings is the greatest trilogy of all time. Hashtag it. Do what you got to do. You know, click like if you don't agree with me. Click like if you do.
Just hit that
Show
like button.
me. But yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. I thought it was really well. Watching it again, obviously some of the graphics are a little outdated, um, but at the time they were so good. It was so amazing. And I know they're long, but man, they don't feel long to me at all.
So I couldn't
At
come up
all.
with an argument with it anyway. I couldn't think like, hey, we try with Back to the Future because I enjoy those a lot and stuff like that. But as far as
Mhm.
story, cinematics go and stuff like that, yeah, I'd have to agree. Lord of the Rings is really really up there.
You're an idiot.
You like trash movies, so you don't even get to talk. So
I think I
it's
hate it mostly because you and my wife talk about it all the time in our group chat, and it annoys the
because it's
piss out
so
of me.
great.
Oh my god.
I was watching it and I was like, you know what? I remember reading these books years whenever the movies came out, and I couldn't wait for the second one to come out. So I was like, I'm gonna go buy the trilogy again. So I knew it wasn't gonna get here on Amazon. So I decided to do curbside pickup at the half price bookstore. So for ten
Nice.
bucks, I got the paperback books, and I just had them sitting there, just like off to the side, just so I don't get anything or anything like that. I gave them a real quick wipe down, but I haven't touched them yet. So I'm looking forward to flipping through those books. It looks like an older set. It's like the 50th anniversary, and I know those books are really old. So this is probably
Oh yeah.
it's a really cool looking box set. So maybe I'll post it in the Discord later, just so everyone can see it.
Oh my
But
god.
See, it'd be
my
nice if them.
opinion, that movie should have won Best Picture every year. He got a cumulative award for the last one. He should have won it every year. Just my
It's,
thoughts. Just throwing that out there.
see, my whole thing with the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit that I ever knew was from the old animated stuff from way back
Oh
when.
yeah, those are
Yeah.
so bad too.
The old rotoscope Lord of the
I
Rings.
appreciate that. Yeah, I do appreciate the rotoscope and the effort for it, but like they're just not good.
And the songs are bad.
Yeah, they're really bad.
I think we've gone
But
over by like 4 minutes too
we're
much.
15 minutes over. So that's my hot take, guys. I'm sorry if I talked too much this episode, but thanks for listening to me. Maybe I'll duck
Oh
out
my
next week. Oh no,
god.
I won't. I can't.
You can't. You
I
literally
can't.
can't. Well,
Yeah, I know.
next
Ooh, is
week.
that
Next
is that a
week.
tease?
Yeah.
Do they are? Is it official? Can we just say that we're gonna have a guest and not say who it is,
Let's just
or is it
say who it
official?
is. It's official. We're gonna
Is
have.
it official?
Yeah, she's agreed.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. All
so
right.
next week we're gonna have on Super K. Uh,
Super K.
she's from a Double Double and Dice podcast.
Yep.
She's going to be coming on and talking about her podcast. We're going to be talking to her a little bit about her experience in the Dice Masters community. If you haven't heard her podcast, please check it out. It's really good. They've just put out their third one
Really
this
good.
week. It's super good. Not only did they talk about our tournament, but it's really interesting to hear their take on it. And
Mhm.
I think we need more representation from everyone that is in the community, not just like us dudes. So
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
but yeah, I tried to get my wife into the game. She doesn't like playing this game, so um,
Sure, we'll play Lord of the Rings Trivial's Pursuit though.
Yeah, and she'll beat you.
She did beat me. It's true. I let her win though. Just saying.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell her that, and she's going to, like, yell at you in our chat.
Challenge accepted.
All right.
But yeah, Super K is coming out. Super excited. She's great. Every conversation that I had
Awesome
with her was
person,
nothing but positivity, and so she's cool. So looking forward to it.
person,
I'll be
awesome
here.
Player.
Yeah,
That'd be
for
great.
sure. She stomped me in our 2-team takedown one time, and I was sad. I thought we were friends.
I think she stomped you every single time she's played you.
I want to say yes.
And we'll also have tournament talk, future tournament, and we'll probably have the winner of the invitational. So we'll talk about that a little bit with our guest, and we'll do that kind of thing. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Jazzy agrees with me.
Yeah, I know. Some people are just wrong.
Any last word sounds so dark. Any closing Mike?
No, just I had a great time and stuff like that. Everybody be safe out there, and if get some games in as much as you can, and try to stay as positive as possible.
For sure.
Bye. Au revoir.
That's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Check out our website, crgr.rocks, for all our latest info. There you'll find a link to help support us via Patreon. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join our conversations on Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for hanging out.